First of all, I want to thank Michael Kangemi for inviting me to be on this panel. It's a great honor to be included with this very illustrious panel of participants. And also thank Michael Alice and Professor Miklos for inviting and accepting us for this panel as well. And it's a great honor to be here. And I'm sorry that I can't be there in person, but I'm not feeling very well. So I thought it'd be wise to be the first online participant today in today's conference. So today I just want to talk just generally in a very broad brushstroke about some of the major issues that I feel are impacting us in the field of the blockchain and accounting. And I call this the token Wild West because, as you know, many of all the blockchain transactions are, they happen as token transactions, and this could impact how they're regulated, the consensus mechanisms, proof of work versus proof of stake recently with the move from Ethereum to proof of stake from proof of work, Oracle paradox issues. So, how do we know that these physical transactions are reflecting accurately in the virtual world? And then finally, I want to touch briefly on Professor Miklos's and Professor June's seminal paper on triple entry accounting and where we are and what are some of the issues they brought up in their earlier paper that are still open questions. So, there's a lot of discussion now about the regulatory components of blockchain, and the government's, the US government is trying to wrap its hands around how to regulate these token transactions, whether they be cryptocurrencies or NFTs or commodities or securities. And basically, we have to look at the fact that everything is a token, that's created as a token in the blockchain. And there could be a security token, which is where it provides the owner a stake or future stake in a company or asset. It looks like a security contract. The initial coin offerings are very obviously typically securities. The person investing is a passive investor in the offering and is expecting a profit from the work of others. We also have utility tokens, which provide some sort of service or function, gift cards, loyalty points, reservations. There may be an increase in value, but that's not the primary motive for the purchase. Currency tokens are pretty self-evident. It's really a medium of value exchange where value is determined by supply and demand. It should be highly liquid, fungible, and with many users. And this is, the name cryptocurrency, but many cryptocurrencies don't really fall into this category. Then we have asset tokens, which is our areas, a world of NFTs, non-fungible tokens, which are actually valued, correlated with the physical asset. Could be utility or security sometimes, or equity, hard asset, soft asset. But you get the idea. There's all these broad categories. And the issue is that during the life cycle of a token, it could change its classification. So a silo of wheat may be virtually represented as an asset token for the owner and farmer, but become a commodity token and eventually a security token for the purchaser or speculator. So the problem is, how do we regulate this? And this is just a very broad view of some of the government agencies that are involved with this. The SEC is being the predominant one, and they primarily use the Howey test, where we're looking at investment of dollars, common enterprise, profit from the work of others. We have the CFTC guidance, we have FinCEN, and we have IRS, which is actually the only one that's provided us a ruling that says that it's all property. And Secretary Gensler from last week said that we've seen centralization in the crypto market. So it was founded on decentralization, but we're facing the headwinds that as the government tries to wrap its hands around this space, we're going to see a significant concentration and centralization and probably regulation. And the question is that going to change what we typically have experienced as cryptocurrencies and blockchains to date?